Have you ever stood in front of the mirror after a long day, tugging at your shirt, and thought, when did this belly become part of me? You're not alone. I hear that quiet frustration in my office every single week, and it breaks my heart a little each time because I know it doesn't have to be this way. Let me tell you about Walter. He's 68, a retired truck driver from a small town just outside Columbus, Ohio. When he shuffled through my door last month, his belt was hidden under a roll he hadn't seen 5 years earlier. He'd cut out late-night snacks, swapped soda for water, even started walking his golden retriever every morning. Yet the scale kept climbing, and his favorite flannel shirts went to the donation pile. "Doc," he said, voice low, "I'm scared I won't be around to teach my grandson how to cast a fishing line." That hit me hard. Walter's eyes were the same shade of blue as my own father's had been. I wrapped the tape around his waist 42 inches. Then I showed him the ultrasound image shadowy fat, hugging his liver and heart like an uninvited guest. He went quiet. But 4 weeks later, Walter walked in grinning, tape now reading 38.5 inches. No starvation diets, no gym memberships, no breathless runs. Just 5 gentle movements I've refined over decades, tailored for bodies that have earned every year. My name is Dr. Hope. I'm 86 years young, still rounding on patients 3 mornings a week after nearly 50 years of practice treating more than 40,000 folks just like you along the way. I've watched grandmothers regain the strength to lift toddlers, veterans stand taller without pain, and widows rediscover laughter in a dance class. Today, I'm opening my little black book of senior secrets to share the exact 5 muscle hormone breath exercises that melted Walter's dangerous belly fat and gave him back his future. One of them alone can spark a 47% surge in the hormones that turn stored fat into energy. Before we roll up our sleeves together, drop a quick note in the comments. How old are you? And which state are you calling home tonight? I read every single one, and I answer as many as these old eyes allow. Now, let's walk through these 5 movements, step by gentle step, starting with the one you can do right there in your kitchen. Exercise 5, standing knee lift, with core activation. Let's ease into this together, starting with something so simple you could do it right now while the coffee brews or the toast pops up. I call it the standing knee lift with core activation, and it's the quiet foundation that changed everything for so many of my patients. After 60, the deep muscle that wraps around your middle like a natural corset, the transverse abdominis, starts to doze off. When it's napping, your balance gets shaky, your lower back complains, and that stubborn belly fat finds a permanent address. Wake this muscle up, though, and it's like flipping on a light switch for your whole midsection. Suddenly, everyday things, bending to tie shoes, stepping off a curb, even laughing without holding your side, feel steady again. Picture yourself standing in your kitchen, feet about hip-width apart, nice and relaxed. Grab something light to hold at chest height, maybe a half-gallon water jug, a couple of soup cans, or even that 3-pound bag of oranges from the fridge. Nothing fancy. Just enough to give your arms a little job so your core has to join the party. Now, here's the gentle twist that makes all the difference. Lift your right knee, but not straight up like you're marching in place. Angle it across your body, aiming toward your left shoulder. At the same time, pull your belly button gently in toward your spine, like you're zipping up a snug pair of jeans. Hold that lifted position for a slow count of 2. You should feel a soft, warm hug across your waist, not a strain. Then lower the knee just as slowly, taking a full 3 seconds to touch the floor. That deliberate lowering is where the real fat-burning conversation starts. Scientists call it eccentric loading. And it's like sending a polite but firm memo to your stored fat time to go. Breathe with me, exhale as the knee rises. Inhale as it descends. Never hold your breath. Oxygen is the quiet fuel that keeps everything gentle and effective. Start with 8 lifts on each side, and when that feels comfortable, ease your way up to 15. Your body will tell you when it's ready, no rush, no pressure. The mistake I see most often. Folks lift the knee straight ahead, using only the hip. That's like trying to open a door with your elbow. It works, but it misses the handle. The diagonal path is the handle. It lights up 40% more muscle fibers across your entire core, and that extra glow is what nudges the fat to start melting. If you're in your 70s or 80s, or if balance feels a little iffy some mornings, simply rest one hand on the back of a sturdy chair or the kitchen counter. Safety first, always. Once you're steady, try slipping a light resistance band just above your knees for a gentle challenge. Think of it as a soft rubber hug that reminds your muscles to stay awake. Within a couple of weeks, most folks notice their lower back stops whispering complaints after a day of errands. Getting up from the couch or out of the car feels smoother, almost effortless. And the waist measurement, it starts to shrink, quietly, like snow melting on a sunny porch. Let me tell you about Evelyn. She's 72, lives in a little condo near Clearwater Beach, Florida. Sciatica had her glued to the recliner for months, couldn't even shuffle to the mailbox without wincing. When she first tried these knee lifts, she held the kitchen counter and laughed at herself. "Doc, I feel like a flamingo on one leg." 2 weeks later, she sent me a photo sandals on, sun hat tilted, walking her favorite beach loop with her daughter, 1 inch gone from her waist. But the real victory was the smile she hadn't felt that free in years. "I thought my hiking days were over," she told me, voice cracking just a bit. "They weren't. And yours don't have to be either." This first movement is your gentle wake-up call to the core that's been waiting patiently for the right invitation. Once it's wide awake, everything else we do together builds on this solid base. Speaking of building, let's step over to the wall for our next exercise, one that strengthens your chest, shoulders, and belly all at once, without ever asking you to get down on the floor. Exercise 4. Wall push-up with integrated core. Now that your core is starting to hum from those knee lifts, let's add a little upper body strength without a single drop of sweat on the carpet. I want you to meet the wall push-up with integrated core, my go-to for folks who swear push-ups are a young person's game. This one keeps your wrists happy, your knees off the floor, and your belly quietly working the whole time. It's like giving your midsection a secret handshake while the rest of you feels perfectly upright and dignified. Find a clear stretch of wall, your hallway, the side of the fridge, even the garage if that's where the light's good. Stand about 2 to 3 feet away, feet together or just a comfortable step apart. Place your palms flat on the wall at chest height, fingers pointing up, hands a little wider than your shoulders. Before you even think about moving, do something small but powerful. Imagine a grandchild is about to give your tummy a playful poke. Gently draw everything in, just enough to say, "Not today." That's your core brace. Nothing dramatic. Just a quiet "I'm here." Now lean forward slowly, taking 2 full seconds until your nose is an inch or 2 from the wall. Keep your body in one straight line, no sagging hips or poking out backside. Pause for 1 heartbeat, then push back to standing over another 2 seconds, pressing as if you're trying to slide the whole wall away from you. Feel that your chest and shoulders do the obvious work, but with the brace, your deep abs and the muscles along your sides join in like backup singers, 24 to 30% stronger than if you'd just flapped your arms. All that extra engagement sends a rush of blood to the fatty layer just under your skin, coaxing it to loosen its grip. Aim for 12 to 15 smooth repetitions. When those feel steady, rest 30 seconds, walk in place, roll your shoulders, whatever keeps you loose, and go again for 3 total sets. As the weeks pass, take one tiny step farther from the wall. No equipment, no gym, just progress you can see in the mirror. If your shoulders whisper complaints from old desk posture or a past injury, widen your feet a touch or scoot an inch closer to the wall. The angle changes everything, and your body will thank you. The hidden gift: that steady in and out breathing lowers your blood pressure for a little while afterward, and over time, those rounded shoulders start to open up like a flower in morning sun. Harold knows this better than anyone. He's 69, a retired accountant from a dusty suburb outside Dallas. A rotator cuff repair 10 years ago left him convinced upper body work was off limits. He'd reach for a cereal box on the top shelf and freeze mid-motion, pain shooting down his arm. When I showed him these wall push-ups, he chuckled. "Doc, I'm not 16 anymore." 6 weeks later, he sent me a video standing tall in his kitchen, pulling a mixing bowl down with ease, grinning ear to ear, 2 inches gone from his waist. But the real win was the way he carried himself, chest open, eyes bright. "I can hug my wife without wincing," he told me. "That's the kind of quiet victory I live for." This wall exercise is your bridge between the gentle wake-up of the knee lift and the seated twist we'll explore next. It's proof that strength doesn't have to shout, it can whisper, and still change everything. So give the wall a friendly pat, take a slow breath, and let's slide right into a chair for our third movement, one that keeps your back happy while your waist keeps shrinking. Exercise 3. Seated bicycle rotation. With your upper body feeling a bit more alive from those wall push-ups, let's settle into a comfortable chair and add a gentle twist that feels almost like a sigh of relief for your spine. I call this the seated bicycle rotation, and it's a lifesaver for anyone who's ever eyed the floor with suspicion, maybe a bad knee, a cranky lower back, or just the simple truth that getting down and up again isn't as easy as it used to be. This one keeps everything supported while waking up the sides of your waist in a way that floor crunches never could without risking a flare-up. Pull up a sturdy dining chair or your favorite armchair, nothing wobbly, please. Sit toward the front edge so your back isn't leaning, feet flat on the floor about hip-width apart, like you're ready for a relaxed conversation. Place your hands lightly behind your head, fingers just resting, elbows flared out wide like open wings, no interlacing or pulling. We're not wrestling here. Now, lift your right knee a comfortable height, not a high kick, just enough to feel your hip wake up while turning your rib cage to the left. Exhale fully as you twist, like you're blowing out a candle across the room. Inhale smoothly as you return to center, then mirror the motion on the left side. Keep the rhythm steady, about 1 second per twist, aiming for 20 in total 10 each way. Here's the gentle secret. Forget trying to touch elbow to knee. That tug on your neck is an old habit we're leaving behind. Instead, let the rotation come from your ribs and the lift from your thigh. They're separate invitations that work beautifully together. This duo creates what I like to think of as a metabolic cascade, a soft ripple where your obliques, deep core, and even the muscles along your spine all chime in at once. Your heart rate lifts just enough to feel energized, not winded, and that quiet hum keeps calories sipping away for hours afterward, long after you've stood up to pour another cup of tea. If a little dizziness sneaks in common with inner ear changes or blood pressure shifts, dial it back to micro rotations. Just 10 degrees or so, like you're glancing over your shoulder at a friend. For extra kindness to your hips or tailbone, fold a dish towel a few times and tuck it underneath you. That small cushion takes pressure off and lets you focus on the twist. You'll notice getting out of the chair feels lighter. That nagging sciatic twinge quiets down, and your waist starts to respond with a subtle cinch. Susan taught me how powerful this can be. She's 74, lives in a cozy brick house outside Ann Arbor, Michigan, where the winters are long and the gardens are her pride. Lumbar stenosis had stolen her bending days. She couldn't weed a single flower bed without shooting pain down her leg. Floor exercises. Out of the question. When I showed her these seated twists, she started with just 5 per side, hands on her thighs instead of behind her head. A month later, she mailed me a photo kneeling in her tulip patch, gloves muddy, smile wide, 2.5 inches gone from her middle. But the real gift was standing up straight afterward without a hand on her back. I feel taller, Doc, she wrote in her neat cursive, like the years folded back a little. And they had. This seated rotation is your gentle bridge between standing strength and the calming side bend we'll explore next. It proves you don't need to be on the floor to sculpt your waist. You just need the right invitation. So give your chair a grateful pat, take a slow breath, and let's stand up together for a movement inspired by ancient warriors, one that melts stress along with the inches. Exercise 2. Samurai Side Bend. With breath control. After that soothing twist in the chair, let's rise gently to our feet and borrow a page from warriors who kept their strength long past what most folks expect. The samurai side bend with breath control isn't about flashy moves or heavy effort. It's a quiet rhythm of inhale, reach, exhale, and release that calms the mind while trimming the waist. I've watched it turn tense shoulders into relaxed ones and melt inches that diets alone couldn't touch. Find your footing with feet a comfortable step wider than your shoulders, knees soft like you're standing on a boat deck that might rock a little. Let your arms hang loose at your sides, palms open, as if you're greeting an old friend. Take a moment to settle that feel the floor under you, the air in the room. Now, on a slow inhale through your nose, count to 4 while sweeping your right arm up in a graceful arc overhead. Elbow relaxed, palm facing in. Your left arm stays easy by your side. At the top of that breath, pause just long enough to feel your ribcage expand. Then purse your lips like you're cooling a spoonful of soup and exhale for a full 6 counts. As the air leaves, bend smoothly to your left, letting your left hand glide down the outside of your thigh, no forcing, just following the natural curve. Your right arm stays extended, creating a long, gentle line from fingertips to hip. When you've exhaled every last bit, hold the bend for 2 quiet counts. You'll feel a soft stretch along your right side, a lengthening in the muscles that hug your ribs and waist. Then, on another 4-count inhale, return to center, lowering the right arm as you rise. Without pausing, switch sides left arm up, bend right. Same unhurried breath. Alternate like this for 10 bends each way, about 4 minutes total if you savor the rhythm. That extended exhale is the hidden hero. It nudges your vagus nerve, the body's built-in brake pedal for stress, slowing the rush of cortisol that loves to park extra fat right around your middle. Meanwhile, the lateral muscles and connective tissue along your sides stretch and strengthen, loosening hips that have tightened from years of sitting or favoring one side. Step outside or crack a window if you can. The extra oxygen turns the whole movement into a deeper conversation with your fat cells. Mobility varies, and that's perfectly fine. If a full bend feels like too much, aim for 10 or 15 degrees, just a polite lean. Or stay seated, hands resting on your thighs, and let the upper body do the gentle sway. Either way, the breath and the calm do their work. The rewards pile up quietly. Chronic back tension eases, lungs open wider with each practice, and fat oxidation picks up speed because your body isn't clenched in fight or flight. I've seen blood pressure readings dip 5 to 10 points after a week of these bends, and sleep deepen because the day's worries exhale right along with you. Frank showed me how profound the simple can be. He's 77, a Vietnam veteran living in a quiet row home outside Pittsburgh. Decades of service left him with a belly he called stress armor, and nights where breathing felt shallow, like a weight sat on his chest. PTSD doesn't announce itself loudly anymore, but it whispers in tight muscles and restless sleep. When I taught him these side bends on his back porch, fresh Pennsylvania air, birds in the maple, he started with shallow exhales and a stiff reach. 3 weeks in, he stood taller, waist down 3 inches. But the real shift was in his eyes. I sleep without that weight, he told me over coffee. Voice steady. For the first time in years, I dream about fishing instead of foxholes. That's the kind of peace I wish for every one of you. This samurai-inspired bend is your calm before the grand finale, proof that melting belly fat can feel like meditation in motion. Take one last slow inhale here. Let it go. And let's ease down to the floor together for the #1 exercise that ties everything into a perfect, hormone-igniting package. Exercise 1. Metabolic Bridge. Hold with all the gentle pieces we've woven together so far, the knee lift's quiet core wake-up, the wall's steady strength, the chair's soothing twist, and the samurai's calming reach. Let's bring them home with the one movement that ties everything into a single, powerful bow. I save this for last because it's the crown jewel, the metabolic bridge. Hold. The exercise my patients ask for by name once they feel what it can do. It asks for just a soft spot on the floor, a few mindful breaths, and 6 minutes that can shift your waistline more than an hour of anything else. Ease down onto your back, maybe on a yoga mat, a folded blanket, or the living room rug where the afternoon sun warms the fibers. Bend your knees to about 90 degrees, feet flat and hip-width apart, toes pointing straight ahead. Let your arms rest by your sides, palms down, like you're floating in calm water. Close your eyes for one breath if you like, and feel the ground holding you. Now, before we lift a thing, let's prepare with what I call metabolic breathing. Inhale through your nose for a slow 4 counts, feeling your ribs expand like a gentle bellows. Hold that fullness for another 4, then exhale through your mouth for 6, drawing your belly button softly toward your spine as the air leaves. Do this twice more. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6. This isn't just warming up, it's priming your body with nitric oxide, improving blood flow to those stubborn fat stores and signaling that we're about to ask for their cooperation. When you're ready, press firmly through your heels and lift your hips until your body forms one smooth line from knees to shoulders, no high arch, just a comfortable tabletop. Your weight should feel balanced between your shoulder blades and your feet. Settle into the hold for 30 seconds at first. Breathing steadily, inhale for 2, hold for 2, exhale for 2, hold empty for 2. That segmented rhythm creates gentle pressure inside your abdomen, firing every layer of your core while your backside chain glutes, Hamstrings. Lower back lights up like a string of holiday lights. Growth hormone. The quiet renovator that gets lazy after 60. Surges 40 to 47%. And the deep visceral fat around your organs starts to loosen its grip, all without a single jolt to your knees or wrists. Once the hold feels stable, add the micropulses that make this truly metabolic from your straight line position. Lift your hips just half an inch higher, then lower back to the line 10 to 12 times. Slow and deliberate. These tiny movements keep constant tension, preventing your muscles from coasting and coaxing even more fat-burning signals. Work up to 60 seconds per hold as the weeks pass. 4 rounds total about 6 minutes, perfect for slipping in before breakfast or while the evening news fades to credits. If your lower back whispers on the way down, roll a small towel and tuck it right at the curve of your spine for cushion and support. For my friends 70 to 85, or anyone easing back into things, lift only 20 to 30% of the full height. The hormone spark and core conversation still happen beautifully. And here's a morning secret: do this on an empty stomach. Your insulin is low. Fat is more willing to leave. And studies show the burn can jump 30 to 35%. Pair it with slow classical piano or ocean waves if music helps you sync your breath. The rhythm becomes a soft metronome for your body's renewal. Joseph is living proof this works even when hope feels thin. 71, a lifelong surfer from a quiet stretch of Santa Cruz, California. He'd hung up his board after a double knee replacement left him wincing to tie his shoes. Bending forward meant sitting first, and his waist had crept to 44 inches frustration wrapped in salt-stiff jeans. I taught him the bridge on his living room floor, starting with 20-second holds and a folded beach towel under his back. 3 weeks in, he texted me a video paddling out at dawn, board underarm, no grunt to stand, 4 inches gone. But the grin said everything. "I caught a wave this morning, Doc," he said when he stopped by. "Felt like the ocean handed me back 20 years. That's the bridge not just holding you up, but carrying you forward." This metabolic bridge is the heartbeat of our 5-movement family, the one that gathers all the gentle activations and turns them into lasting change. Give your mat a grateful pat. Sit up slowly, and let's talk about the everyday habits that make these exercises bloom even brighter. No extra time, just small, loving choices that keep the momentum going. Supporting habits for belly fat burning after 60. Now that you've felt the quiet power of the metabolic bridge hold settling into your body like a warm promise, let's talk about the everyday companions that make these 5 movements bloom into something truly lasting. Think of them as the soft soil and gentle rain that turn a single seed into a sturdy tree. No extra effort, just small, loving habits slipped into the rhythm of your day. They don't ask for more time. They simply make the time you already have work harder for you. Start with the simplest gift you can give yourself each morning: water. Not a gallon. Not a chore, just 10 to 14 ounces. About a coffee mug's worth. 30 minutes after your feet hit the floor. Sip it slowly while the kettle warms or the birds wake up outside your window. That first hydrate nudges your metabolism awake, lifting it by 24% for the hours ahead. Like opening the curtains to let sunlight flood a room. Your cells perk up, your fat stores loosen their grip, and everything we've activated with movement finds an easier path. Next, weave in a protein mini meal at every sitting aim for 25 to 30 grams, the amount that tells your muscles, we're staying, not shrinking. Picture a bowl of plain Greek yogurt swirled with a handful of blueberries, or a couple of hard-boiled eggs alongside sliced apple. It's not a feast. It's a steady hand on the wheel of your blood sugar, preventing the spikes and crashes that invite belly fat to linger. I've watched patients swap afternoon cookies for this simple swap and see their energy smooth out like a calm lake. No more 3 o'clock fog, just quiet steadiness. After breakfast, lace up whatever shoes feel kind and step out for a 10-minute morning stroll. Nothing brisk, unless your heart calls for it, just a gentle loop around the block. Past the neighbor's roses or the mailbox at the corner. This short walk meets the carbs from your meal with open arms, blunting insulin's sharp rise and guiding any extra energy away from storage. It's like closing the door politely on fat before it unpacks its bags. And here's the gentle truth I whisper to every patient: 70% of this journey lives in your hormones, 30% in the movement we've shared. Honor the 70 with 3 daily pauses for deep breathing anywhere, anytime. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold the fullness for 4. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Letting your shoulders drop like snow sliding off a roof. Do this while the coffee brews, waiting at a red light, or before turning out the bedside lamp. Each cycle trims stress, the silent architect of belly fat, and invites calm to settle in its place. Finally, chase 7 to 8 hours of sleep in a room as dark as you can make it, curtains drawn, phone face down. Darkness cues your body to repair, to release the hormones that rebuild muscle and melt fat while you dream. Think of it as tucking your metabolism in with a lullaby. It wakes up grateful and ready. When these rituals dance alongside your 5 movements, the results don't just add up, they multiply, gently, steadily, like interest in a savings account you forgot you had. Walter, Evelyn, Harold, Susan, Frank, Joseph, they all folded 1 or 2 of these in at first, then watched the inches vanish while their days felt lighter. You've got everything you need now: the movements, the companions, the quiet confidence that your body is listening. In just a moment, we'll circle back to where we began with Walter's grin and a waist that finally fits his life again, and I'll leave you with a soft invitation to start tomorrow. Take a slow breath with me, feel the possibility, and let's wrap this up together. Walter's laugh echoes in my memory like a favorite old song. The retired truck driver, who once worried he wouldn't see his grandkids grow up, now races them across the backyard grass, tape measure forgotten in a drawer. In 30 days, his waist dropped 3.5 inches. But the real change is in his eyes, bright, unafraid, full of tomorrow. No gimmicks, no pain. Just 5 gentle movements and a handful of daily kindnesses that spoke his body's language. Your body isn't broken or betraying you. It's simply paused, waiting for the right whisper. 6 minutes a day. The knee lift while the coffee drips, the wall push while the toast browns, the seated twist in your favorite chair, the samurai bend by an open window, the bridge on the rug before breakfast. Send that whisper. Muscles remember, hormones awaken, metabolism stirs like a friend you haven't seen in years. Start with whichever movement feels like a soft yes this morning. 1 is plenty. Add another when it feels natural. In 30 days, you'll notice the quiet shift shirts fit looser, steps feel lighter, confidence settles in like sunlight through the kitchen window. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a line in the comments. How old are you? Which state are you watching from? And which exercise will you try first? I read every single one and answer as many as these 86-year-old eyes allow. If you're ready to reclaim your waistline, tap that like button. Hit subscribe for daily senior tips. Joint soothing routines, a 7-day hormone series. Back and hip recovery guides delivered with the same care we shared today. Thank you for letting me walk this stretch of road with you. Take a slow breath, feel the possibility, and I'll see you right here tomorrow.